Master, wake up. Shirou let out a mumble as he heard an unfamiliar male voice. MNGH. Master? But this voice is not Arturia's, then whose? He thought as he remembered that the only person who would call him by that is writer Arturia Alter. Hey! Master! Wake up or else I'll wake you up myself with my bare hands. Upon hearing the sudden change of voice, Shirou quickly woke up from his bed, wondering who the voice was. As he woke up, what he saw was someone that he did not recognize from either Chaldea or his travels. The person himself was wearing a blue chikai no Haori, long leather boots, and armored gauntlets. His facial features included long silver hair with a streak of red on it that was tied into a ponytail and black eyes. Yo! Good morning, Master, the person said with a cheeky grin. Excuse me, but who are you? Shirou asked, completely confused with who the person in front of him was. Oh come on Master. You don't recognize me? Although to be fair, this is the first time you saw me like this, but anyways, I'm the katana that you've been carrying this entire time, Master, the person said. At that moment, Shirou's mouth dropped upon hearing those words. Eh? You're my Muramasa blade? Yes. Shirou was at a complete loss for words before checking to see that his Muramasa blade was still there in the corner. You have got to be kidding me. The person in front of me is my Muramasa blade. I'm not even sure what to say in this situation. Sango Muramasa did mention that he put his heart and soul into his creations, but I did not expect them to come to life in front of my eyes, and in human form as well. Furthermore, he kind of resembles Sango Muramasa in some way, although I don't know why. Maybe it's because he is his creator. Master, are you okay? HM? Yeah, I'm fine. What should I call you? Shirou asked, unsure of what he should call his Muramasa blade. HM. That is a good question, Master. I should remember what my name is, but I completely forgot about it a long time ago. For a moment, both Shirou and his recently Muramasa blade turned human were in deep thought about what name should be given. Then Shirou came up with an answer. Well, should I call you by the name of your creator's noble phantasm? Considering that use you to unleash it after all, Shirou asked. Shirou's Muramasa blade let out a smile. Very well. Call me Tsumagari Muramasa, Master, he said. That sounds great. The two then began to walk out of Shirou's room. As they were walking, Shirou was in thought of the situation in front of him, or rather beside him. Wow. Even though it's right in front of my eyes right now, it's hard to believe that my noble phantasm would come to life as a human being. Although the biggest question is how he managed to manifest like this, speaking of which, I wonder how this happened. Master, are you okay? You seem to be quite a daze, Tsumagari Muramasa said. Shirou let out a sigh. To be honest, I'm still surprised that my noble phantasm is able to manifest like this. No offense, Tsumagari Muramasa. No worries. To be honest, I'm surprised to manifest like this as well, he replied as he looked at his newly formed human body. Not to mention that I resemble my creator in some way. You can say that again. Hey! Shirou. Both Shirou and Tsumagari Muramasa turned around to see Da Vinci, who seemed to have bags under her eyes, showing that she had not been sleeping for a while. Da Vinci? Shirou said. Soon, Da Vinci caught up with Shirou and Tsumagari Muramasa and was panting from all the running she did. Finally, I found you, she huffed. Master, who is this person? That person is Da Vinci, Tsumagari Muramasa. Shirou, I see you already know that he's your noble phantasm. Da Vinci said. And judging by what you just said, I take it that you had something to do with this phenomenon? Da Vinci let out a chuckle. Ihihei, yes. Shirou let out a sigh. Let me guess, you created something again and it went haywire, affecting everyone in the process, he deduced. Yes. Da Vinci admitted. Figures. Anyways, is there some way to fix this? Don't worry, this will only be temporary, for a whole day. By tomorrow, everything will be back to normal. So, you're telling me that I have a day off to myself? Sumigari Muramasa interrupted. Yes, Sumigari Muramasa. Anyways, I got to go now. See you. And she left in an instant, leaving the two alone. Wow. What a strange woman. Sumigari Muramasa commented. Indeed. The two then continued to walk, and it was then the duo came Arturia and another person who looked similar to Arthur, but with blue eyes, and was wearing what appears to be medieval armor like Arthur's armor, but was golden instead. All in all, Shirou immediately knew who was the person next to Arturia because of Da Vinci's earlier words. Shirou, is that who I think that is? Arturia asked, wanting to confirm who the person next to him was. Yes, Arturia. The person next to me is Sumigari Muramasa, Shirou replied. Arturia let out a small sigh. Looks like the same thing happened to you as well. Anyways, now that I already know that the same thing happened to you, guess things just got a lot easier for the both of us to explain. The person next to me is Excalibur. It's a pleasure to meet you like this, Emiya Shirou, Excalibur said as he raised his arm as a greeting. Shirou then raised his arm and grabbed Excalibur's raised arm, shaking it. Yes. It's nice to meet you, Excalibur. Although I did not expect to see you like this. Me neither. And I suppose that the gentleman over there next to you is your noble phantasm, correct? Sumigari Muramasa let out a grin. Yeah. It's nice to meet you, Excalibur. So that's what you look like as a human. Yeah. Even now, I'm still surprised that this is what we look like as human. Excalibur said as he glanced at himself. Tell me about it. Soon, Sumigari Muramasa and Excalibur were having a conversation with each other while Shirou and Arturia watched with amazement in their eyes. Wow. I never thought I would see our noble phantasms having a conversation with each other. Speaking of which, how did that happen to Excalibur? Do you have any clue about it? Arturia asked. Simple. Da Vinci, Shirou replied. Arturia let out a sigh. Her again? Yup. Fair enough. She's the only person who can come up with something like this. You may have a point there. It was then a certain thought came into his mind. Wait, if this change affected anyone who has a weapon as a noble phantasm, does that mean, he thought as his eyes widened. Shirou? Shirou let out a gulp. Arturia, there's something I need to try out. Give me a moment, he said as he raised his hand and closed his eyes. As he did, he suddenly teleported himself into his reality marble. Upon arriving there, he was in complete disbelief at what he was seeing in front of him. What should have been a field of swords in front of him was completely replaced by a bunch of men with various colors and clothing. While there were some people he could not identify, there were others that he could recognize based on the colors and clothing. And it looks like my worst fears have been realized. It was then two people suddenly came up to him. One of them had white hair, heterochromia eyes where the left eye is black while the other is gray and was wearing a white karatiji. The other person has black hair with tiny streaks of red, heterochromia eyes that were the inverse of the other person as his right eye is black and the other is gray and was wearing a black karatiji. Hello master, I am Concho, the person with black hair said. And I am Bakuya, master, the person with white hair said. What are your orders? They said in unison as they bowed down to him. Shirou let out a sigh. Looks like even my reality marble is affected by this. Hey! My host. What the hell is this? Why is your reality marble filled with multiple men here suddenly? And they seemed quite familiar, but I can't tell why. Sango Muramasa yelled. Shirou then turned to Sango Muramasa. It's a long story that definitely needs to be explained, he yelled. Meanwhile, Arturia looked at Shirou, who seemed to be standing still like a statue. I wonder what Shirou is up to in that pose. At that moment, Shirou quickly got out of the pose and opened his eyes while slightly sweating a bit. Shirou, are you alright? Yes, I'm fine, Arturia. I just had to check on something in my reality marble, Shirou replied. You checked your reality marble? Woohoo, shit, Arturia said as she began to realize why he did. Yeah. My reality marble is filled with a bunch of people inside it right now. Shirou said with a sigh. I see, and how did Sango Muramasa take it? Well, let's just say he was not amused with the amount of people living in my reality marble. I think he was even more frustrated over the fact that most of the noble phantasms were turned into men. I can see that. It was then both Sumigari Muramasa and Excalibur came up to the two. Hey master! What are we going to do today? Are we still going through that routine of yours? Sumigari Muramasa asked. Routine? What do you mean by that? Shirou asked, confused with what his noble phantasm said. Sumigari Muramasa let out a pout. Ah, come on. You know what I am talking about. Every morning, you cook for your girlfriend and her counterparts first. Can we do something different today? I'm getting tired of the same routine, you know. I get it that you want to cook for them first, but can we break the routine for once? Arturia was slightly shocked upon seeing Sumigari Muramasa's behavior. Is this really how Shirou's noble phantasm acts like? My word, he acts like a child, which is quite different from Shirou. Shirou let out a sigh. Sorry, but it's something that I want to do. TCH, you're no fun, master. Sumigari Muramasa said with a pout. Excalibur let out a chuckle. Now then, shall we move on, master? He said to Arturia. Yes. It is almost breakfast time and hunger is the enemy. Soon, the group of four went over to the cafeteria. As they did, it was by chance that they saw Arturia and her counterparts with a bunch of people that looked like Excalibur's human form. Hey Shirou! Food! Arturia's counterparts said in unison. You heard our master Emiya Shirou. They requested your cooking, now, Arturia's counterparts noble phantasms said. Everyone was silent for a moment until Sumigari Muramasa said something. Well then, I think I have a hunch who those people are. Indeed, Excalibur said as he looked at his counterparts with a sense of awkward in himself. Is this what Master felt when she saw her counterparts for the first time? Wow, even thought I was by your side for a portion of your life. This is the first time I ever saw you in a frenzy, and it was not in a life or death situation. To think you would go through with this every day, now I take back everything I said about your routine being boring, Sumigari Muramasa said. You can say that again. Speaking of which, did you have a nice chat with Arturia's counterparts, noble phantasms? Shirou asked. Yeah. Some of them were nice, especially Caliban. Although he did ask a lot of questions about you, master. Really? Yeah. As the two continued to walk, it was then Sumigari Muramasa spotted the training room. Hey master, let's go over there. HM? You mean the training room? Yeah. Believe it or not, I can actually fight too, you know. Shirou was shortly surprised at Sumigari Muramasa's words. Really? Yeah. In fact, let me show you right now. Shirou and Sumigari Muramasa then went into the training room. As they did, Sumigari Muramasa raised his hand and to Shirou's surprise, his Muramasa blade suddenly appeared in his hand. "See?" Sumigari Muramasa said with a cheeky grin. "Wow, I did not expect that. I told you so. Now then, are we going to fight or not?" Sumigari Muramasa said as he let out a few practice swings. Shirou let out a sigh. "Yeah," he said as he unsheathed his Muramasa blade out of its scabbard. Afterwards, both were in Saigon no Kane as they were holding their katanas towards each other. "Well then, here I come," Sumigari Muramasa yelled as he lunged towards Shirou. As he got closer to him, he swung his sword downwards, forcing Shirou to block the strike. As Shirou blocked it, he then pushed him back a few meters, giving him distance. Shirou then headed towards Sumigari Muramasa and began to head towards him, swinging his katana at him. However, Sumigari Muramasa saw that coming and blocked his swing. He then pushed back the swing and swung at Shirou again, forcing him to block like before. The two then engaged in the series of sword swings, their blades clashing with each other upon contact. Like they knew each other's moves. Both Shirou and Sumigari Muramasa separated themselves from each other, increasing the distance between the two. "Wow, you weren't kidding when you said you know how to fight, and you guarded yourself against every swing I've thrown at you," Shirou said as he was getting some breath. Sumigari Muramasa let out a chuckle. "Hey, you and I've been fighting alongside each other for quite a while, so I practically know how to counter you." Shirou then chuckled as well. "I see, looks like this is going to be a lot tougher than I thought." "Hey, who said this was going to be easy?" Sumigari Muramasa snarked. "Anyways, don't let your guard down, master." In an instant, Sumigari Muramasa lunged towards Shirou and was about to swing at him, until he and Shirou heard a new voice in the room. "Let us join in on this fight," the new voice said. At that moment, both Shirou and Sumigari Muramasa stopped fighting and turned around to see Okita Alter, who seemed to be with a person. That person looked like Okita Alter but was smaller and was wearing a bunny hood. "Oh, hey there Okita Alter," Shirou greeted. "Hey there Shirou. This person over here is Rengoku, my sword." "Greet yourself, Rengoku," Okita Alter said. "Hello, Shirou," Rengoku said. "Hello, Rengoku. This person over here is Sumigari Muramasa." "Hello Sumigari Muramasa," Rengoku greeted. "Hey there kid," Sumigari Muramasa said as he patted Rengoku's head with a grin on his face. Okita Alter let out a smile upon seeing Rengoku getting head patted before turning to Shirou. "So Shirou, I see the same thing happened to you as well." "Seems like it. And Da Vinci was the one behind all of this. Anyways, what brings you here?" "Well, I want to train my skills, and it was then I saw you." "Anyways, referring to what I said earlier, let us join in on the fight." "Really? Are you sure about this?" "Yes." "Okay. What do you think, Sumigari Muramasa?" You two do your own thing. I'm already tired right now, so I'll take a break for now." "How about you Rengoku?" "Nah, I'll just watch," Rengoku replied as she sat down on a nearby bench. "Very well. Let's have our practice match Shirou," Okita Alter said as she unsheathed her long katana. Yes. Soon, Shirou and Okita Alter began to have their match while Sumigari Muramasa and Rengoku looked from the sidelines. As they were watching, Rengoku was looking closely at Sumigari Muramasa, making him confused. "What, kid?" "Nothing. It's just that, well, since you're Shirou's noble phantasm, I thought you would look like him, just like how I look like my master," Rengoku replied. "Huh. I see. Well, to be honest, I thought you were her kid the first time I saw you. I mean, no offense, but you look way too short." Rengoku let out a small sigh. "I get that a lot. Speaking of which, who will win? Master or Shirou? I don't know. Let's find out and see. Man. Master's cooking is great as always. Sumigari Muramasa thought as he was walking down one of Chaldea's hallways alone for the first time. After Shirou and Okita Alter had their match, Shirou and Okita Alter let their noble phantasms explore Chaldea of their own, much to their delight. During Sumigari Muramasa's travels, he saw and tried various things he has not done before when he was in his sword form. Right now, he was walking down from the cafeteria, with his stomach filled with Shirou's food. Now then, I wonder what I shall do next. It was then he passed by a vending machine. A vending machine, I've seen them every time when I was in my sword form, but seeing it like this, and now, I want to have a try at it. Now then, from getting the canned drinks in there, I think it goes like this. He thought as he pulled out some money Shirou lent him earlier. Let's see, I'll go with the soda. He then inserted the right amount of money into the vending machine and chose the soda he wanted. After a few seconds of waiting, the soda can came out of the vending machine and he picked it up. Alright, let's see how this tastes. Sumigari Muramasa then uncapped the soda can and took a sip out of it. As he did, he felt a weird sensation going through his mouth and spat it out. What the heck? This is fizzy as hell. Is this what people like to drink these days? It's like I'm drinking bubbles. As Sumigari Muramasa was spitting out his sip of soda, it was then he heard a new voice. Say, can I try that? The voice said. Sumigari Muramasa turned around to see who asked him the question. As he did, in front of him was a person who had long yellow hair and red eyes. He was wearing only gold armored pants and boots, showing the top half of his body. Who are you? He asked. Well, this is going to be awkward to say this, but I'm the king of heroes, noble phantasm, Ea. Sumigari Muramasa let out a groan. Great. I end up meeting the noble phantasm of my master's worst enemy. Let's hope this will work out, because things will be a pain in the ass if things get worse later. He thought before handing him the can. Here. Thank you. Ea then took the sip out of the can before handing him the can back. Not bad. Although it's a bit too sweet in my tastes. You think so too, huh? Yeah. Anyways, what is your name? Since I already introduced myself to you, it's only proper that you tell me your name as well. Sumigari Muramasa let out a sigh as he knew that this was a critical point. My name is Sumigari Muramasa. For a moment, silence occurred between the two until Ea resumed the conversation. I see. So, you're the noble phantasm of my master's worst enemy. Yeah, and now, things are awkward because of this revelation. The silence between the two occurred again for quite a while until Sumigari Muramasa continued the conversation. So, is this the part where we beat each other up? Ea did a spit take. Huh? What are you thinking? And where did you get that stupid idea from? From every single time when our masters would meet each other. And I mean literally, they always fight each other every time they meet, and most of the time, your master would be the one that would start it. Really? You would assume that I would act like my master and would start a fight with you? To be honest, yes. Ea sighed again. Relax. I'm nothing like my master who is too overconfident in his abilities and constantly looks down upon everyone. Even I have my arrogance, but at least I keep it under control unlike him. You sure? Yeah, or else we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. Fair enough. So, how's being a human turning out for you? Honestly, it's quite refreshing to get some fresh air, and for a long period of time for once. I swear, my master needs to let me out more. Ea said as he started to grab a can of soda from the vending machine. Looks like your master seems to not use you that much, huh? Sumigari Muramasa asked. Yeah. He keeps saying that these mongrels in this world are not worthy of seeing me in use. And the only times that when he uses me is that when he gets really mad or sees someone worthy, and considering his arrogance, the latter is hard for it to happen, EA replied as he took a sip out of his soda can. Which is true, a certain voice said. Both Sumigari Muramasa and EA nearly jumped upon hearing that certain voice. Great. He's here, the king of heroes, or the king of assholes in my opinion, Sumigari Muramasa thought before turning around to see Archer Gilgamesh. What do you want? Oh, nothing. I was just wondering where my precious treasure was. Guess what? I found him talking to the faker's noble phantasm. And here comes the name calling. Master, is it wrong just to have a conversation with someone? EA asked. No. I just wish you could have it done with someone else instead from the faker's noble phantasm, Archer Gilgamesh replied. Sumigari Muramasa sighed again. Seriously, are you even going to stop with the name calling? You're really annoying right now. Archer Gilgamesh slightly twitched. How? It seems that the faker's noble phantasm seems to lack any manners, just like his pathetic master and creator. Really? This is rich coming from a guy who had his ass kicked by both of them. And multiple times to add up, so quit being so bitter over that. Sumigari Muramasa countered. Why you? Are you trying to pick a fight with me? Sumigari Muramasa let out a chuckle and proceeded to piss him off. Heh, maybe, king of assholes. At that moment, Archer Gilgamesh lost it. Oh, that's it. You're dead now, he yelled as he rushed at him. Bring it on, you asshole. Sumigari Muramasa yelled back. In an instant, Sumigari Muramasa and Archer Gilgamesh proceeded to start a fist fight. As they did, they kept throwing punches at each other while tossing and turning at the same time, looking like a cartoon fight. Meanwhile, EA was just looking with disbelief on his face. You have got to be kidding me. How dare you make a mockery of me? You always look down on other people, so this is your just desserts. Why you? I am the king of heroes. Ha! In your dreams, you lousy king. EA sighed. Well, guess I have to stop this pitiful fight then. He thought as he began to enter into the fight as pulled Archer Gilgamesh out of the fist fight. Sorry about this, master. What dash? In an instant, EA bonked Archer Gilgamesh on the head, knocking him out. Sorry about this, EA apologized. No worries. Half of this was my fault. Yeah. Anyways, I need to drag my master before he gets mad again. Goodbye, Sumigari Muramasa. And EA left, leaving Sumigari Muramasa alone. That was rude, but at least we did not beat each other up unlike what happened to me and his master. So, that was EA as a human. Sumigari Muramasa nearly jumped and turned around to see Shirou in the distance, and he realized that he had overheard the entire conversation. Geez, master, let me know when you're around. You nearly gave me a heart attack. Sorry. So, that was EA? Shirou replied. Yes. And I guess to our surprise, he's not an asshole unlike his master. Indeed. I thought the sword reflects the owner's will, but I guess that saying is a bit wrong in some cases. Also, did you really get into a fight with the King of Heroes? Yeah. To be fair, he was making fun of you, master, so I gave him a taste of his own medicine. Then he got mad and started it. Sumigari Muramasa said with a pout. Really? Shirou said with a sigh before he looked outside the window, which showed the night sky. Well, it's getting late already, let's turn in for the night. Everyone is doing the same thing as well. Well, as you wish, although I wish this could have lasted longer. Soon, Shirou and Sumigari Muramasa headed towards Shirou's room. As they did, Shirou changed into his bedwear while Tsumagari Muramasa still wore his outfit. So, does this mean I'm going to sleep on the floor tonight? Yeah. However, I can do this. Shirou then raised his hand and chanted his aria. Trace on. In an instant, a futon appeared in front of the two. Tsumagari Muramasa let out a grin upon seeing the futon. Really, master? You're giving me a futon to sleep on? Yeah. I mean, you want to experience being a human, and you'll revert to normal by tomorrow, so I think you deserve this. Alright. Now then, guess I'll turn in then. Soon, both Shirou and Tsumagari Muramasa turned themselves into the bed and futon. As they did, Tsumagari Muramasa had a few words to say. Hey master? What is it? If I were to be honest with you, being human for today was quite fun for me. Really? What do you think of it? Well, I did get to experience the basics of what a human does, and it's been quite interesting for me. It's quite a shame that it was a one-day thing though, but it was fun at least. Experiencing eating, fighting, drinking, and now sleeping. Well, I'm glad that you liked it. Yes. Anyways, good night, master. Good night. And the two began to sleep. As time passed, when they were in deep sleep, Tsumagari Muramasa's body began to bright up again. And in an instant, his body disappeared. The next morning, Shirou woke up to see an empty futon. Well, looks like he's gone,